Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to do a little walking and talking here. Going to head out into the pasture. Say hello to all the girls. Hi, ladies. How are we? Everybody doing okay? Hi, Floppy. Hi, Kiwi. What are we doing? Come on, girls. Hi, ladies. Everybody doing okay? Look at all these pretty ladies. Hi there, Penny. Oh, Miss Bighead. That's very cheeky of you. So I hope y'all's week is starting off well. I thought I'd come out here and talk a little bit. Shoot some nice video of the herd. Let everybody say hello. Hi, Sonora. Hi, baby doll. Hi, Diva. Kiwi's interested in what we're doing. Kiwi's the boss. She's in charge of this herd. So we'll walk and talk here. The girls right now are stripping this muscadine vine, very old muscadine vine, eating the bark off of it. It needed to come down anyway, so it's no harm, no foul. Hi, Penelope. Hi, Cherry. Look at Chopsticks there. So believe it or not, even though I'm coming out here to record these gals, I wasn't actually coming out here to talk about anything goat specific today. You know, I had an interesting discussion with someone on X yesterday evening, and I'll insert a screenshot of part of it here in just a moment. Anyway, the discussion was about using AI to create art. Now, I'm of the mindset that if a person uses AI at any point to create a piece of art, whether that be something visual, like an illustration, or a motion picture, a movie, if they use it to help write a novella or a novel, if they use it to generate part of their documentary, if they use AI to generate music, if at any point a person uses artificial intelligence to create any form of art, then it is no longer art. I'm pretty consistent on this stance. And I am firm in this belief. You know, I'm a big supporter of the arts. I'm not saying I'm successful, but I'm an artist myself. Art is important to me. Art is an expression of the human soul. It doesn't even have to be good art, especially since art is completely subjective and one man's trash is another man's treasure. But even the worst of art, the most amateur, the most juvenile, the most pedantic, as long as a human created it, it's art. Likewise, if a person were to look at a man-made object, say someone that uses clay to make rudimentary pottery for use in a kitchen, if they look at, say, a clay bowl with no flourishments or special designs, but appreciates the craftsmanship of the bowl and deems it art, then that too is art. The key that locks it all together, though, is that art has to come from a person. Whether the artist calls it art or the viewer calls it art, as long as the object in question, the piece of media, the sound, if it was made by a person, a living being, then it is art. And I will even extend that to animals. Take, for example, the muscadine vine here that they have chewed on and worked to eat. I'm not saying it's art, but some random stranger may come along and go, gee, look at how well these goats have worked to change the way this plant looks. I think this is very artistic. And it would be art. Why? Because it was created by a living, breathing thing. There are elephants that paint pictures and use their feet to make paw print paintings, or they use their trunks as a paintbrush. There are examples of people using goats, having them walk through paint and then walk on a canvas. That too is art, because it was made by a living thing. AI is not alive. AI does not exist in the real world. AI is in an algorithm that can potentially learn and acquire new data on its own. Though I don't believe we've reached that point yet of true artificial intelligence, as we've seen in things like Star Trek and Star Wars. But even still, AI is not alive. It's a computer program. And as such, no matter what image it generates, no matter what movie it can manage to put together, no matter what song it can make, AI cannot make art. Now, someone may say, oh, but Jared, AI is just a tool. It's just like a paintbrush. An artist that uses AI to create their art is still making art. Well, here's the problem. When you begin using AI to make a portion of your art, AI is making decisions for you. It is making artistic choices without your input. It is creating an image, a song, a film, a book with a narrative or a sense of cohesion that did not come from the artist themselves. And as such, it is not art. It's a product. It can be sold. It may look nice. It may sound nice. It may read like a real person wrote it. But AI is not alive. And AI cannot make art. But here's what scares me. I don't deny that AI has become more advanced as the years have passed, and it's not even really been around for that long. But what happens when the day comes when your average person cannot tell the difference between something made by a person and something made by an AI algorithm? Because that day's coming. For many people, they already have AI blindness and can't tell when AI has been used in a video or in a picture. We see it all the time being shared on Facebook, Instagram, all over. The number of people that are going to fail to be able to detect AI is only going to increase as the years go on, because AI is going to become more advanced. And one day the singularity is going to happen, and there is going to be a computer that can truly think and learn for itself. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know where. But it is going to happen eventually. Now, as to whether or not that computer has a soul, has a consciousness, I don't know. That's not for me to decide. But a computer that can truly think and work for itself is going to happen one day. And when that day comes, and that AI chooses to make quote unquote art, and that art cannot be delineated and identified from art produced by an actual human being, do you know what that implies? Do you really know what that position implies? I want you to think about it. Think about it while I pet Floppy here, who is a true work of art made by nature, because nature is alive. When the day comes that a computer can make art that cannot be identified as being AI generated, and people can no longer tell the difference between man-made art and computer quote unquote art, then what value does the human existence have anymore? That will render all human expression obsolete. Do you understand the gravity of that situation? Do you understand just how reckless it is to look at all of the artistic expression created by mankind in the past, I don't know, 6,000 years? I'm sure we go back farther, but I'm just picking a period here. You look at everything crafted by the ancient Sumerians, the ancient peoples of the Mediterranean, of Egypt, of Greece, of Rome, the ancient tribes that passed through Mongolia, Siberia, came across to the North American continent, the great cultures that sprung up in South America, spread through Central America. Not to mention the tribes of people that existed in the cradle of life in Africa, and all of the artistic expression that all of those billions and billions and billions of people created. Some of them we still have today. And then suddenly you have a computer that can replicate all of it. The human experience is suddenly obsolete. And what is man but for his art? If our art is obsolete and our human experience is obsolete, would not our existence at all be rendered obsolete? There's thousands of years of civilization and society rendered moot in a nanosecond inside of a quantum computer somewhere, sitting in the basement of a water-cooled data center, not staffed by people, operated by robots, and never viewed by a set of human eyes. Do you get how dangerous that is? It honestly makes me sick. Art is important. Art is the human soul rendered tangible in the real world. We can touch it, we can see it, we can smell it, and we can hear it. Art is the best evidence we have of people having souls. And I suspect for as long as I exist, that it will be the only evidence. And honestly, it's all the evidence I need. So when I see someone complaining that, oh, I can do it easier in a computer, I like AI art, it's just as good. If I can't tell the difference between human art and AI art, all the better. I take offense to that, because supporting the spread of AI generated artworks, music, books, movies isn't just nonsensical, it's anti-human. And you'll have to forgive me for being biased, but I'm very pro-human. I'm pro-living creatures. I'm pro-beautiful things like this being in this world. Artworks like this. And this. And all these beautiful pieces of art that are natural and actually exist. I hope that makes sense to you. And I don't mean to bloviate, but I take offense when people say AI art is just as good as human art. And I question if they even have a soul themselves. This tree that these goats have worked to render down, strip the bark of, smooth the wood. This is a piece of work, art, and process. Just as the Grand Canyons are a work of art. Niagara Falls is a work of art. Mount Fuji is a work of art. The Great Salt Lake and Antelope Island there, one of my favorite places on earth. That is a work of art, because it was created through a natural process by living things, animals, man, the living waters rushing through our planet. All of it real. AI is not real. It's a set of numbers in a computer. Zeros and ones. Brief, momentary electrical impulses. They can't think for themselves. They can't make decisions. They don't have a conscience. They don't understand right from wrong. Have a sense of morality. Have a concept of good or evil. They're just switches. 0, 1, on, off, on, off. They're no different than a light switch. A light switch can't make art. Though a human being could craft a beautiful, intricate, detailed, well-designed light switch, and the light switch itself would be art, but the light switch cannot make art on its own. See the difference? It's not hard if you think about it for a moment. So I want to thank you for listening to me talk about art for almost 20 minutes here on the farm. Art's important to me. You might not know it. Oh, he's a farmer. He has farm animals. He's probably a redneck. You'd be surprised. You know, I never thought I'd have a farm in my life. I never thought I'd have two zany herd dogs that interrupt my videos. Never thought I'd have these beautiful goats in my life. You know, I went to school, have an English literature degree. I wanted to be a comic book artist when I was in high school. Art's important to me, has been all my life. And I support the arts. And just because I'm some apparently pea-brain goat farmer, I wouldn't understand art. I see art every day, all around me. And I hope you do too. And I hope you understand that anything generated by an AI algorithm, that's not art. You can make art. When you're sitting at the doctor's office and you doodle something while you're waiting to be checked out. Sorry, I had a bug on my face. You're doodling in the margins of a piece of paper. That's art. You whistle a tune. That's art. You write a poem. That's definitely art. You type a prompt into a computer and let a computer generate something for you. That's not art. You just had a computer complete a task. And that's okay. But don't call it art. Because that's not very human of you. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. And I'll see you again real soon. I thought I was done. But I thought of something while I was wrapping up and headed back to get some lunch. You know what else is a work of art? You're a work of art. And that's why I say art is human. Art is alive. Art is living. And all the expressions of life in this world. You were created. Now, whether you say you were created by God or you were created by your parents through a biological process, either way, it doesn't matter. You were still created. You're a work of art. You're unique. There'll never be anyone else like you. You are a work of art. And no AI can replace you. No AI can copy you. No AI can be you. To be human is to be art. In all its beautiful and infinite forms. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Sorry I had a fake out ending there, but a thought occurred to me and it needed to be said. So thank you again. I'll see you again real soon. And y'all have a nice week.